So just I really wanted to ask this question, and basically, say for instance, there's doctors that just get their information from drug companies, and because they get a lot of their information from drug companies, they got a biased view to go and actually prescribe, a certain type of medication from a drug company, and maybe they get a few kickbacks somehow.
So you'll have a pharmaceutical company's rep will come in and hard sell the doctor and say, this is the best thing for these things. And so the doctor just goes based on that, starts handing it out to patients. Right. So sometimes the drug is really good. It's very effective. Great. For that person's timeline, they're going to have the time that they took the drug the first time and whether they felt really terrible afterwards and was it effective and did it have any adverse reactions to it, or it'll get voted up so that the next time somebody goes and looks at this type of scenario, these types of symptoms, this type of pharmacology to solve the problem, that creates this solution, and the next time frame, the end user can vote it up or down. As more people get these pills and they're not effective, less people will want to follow that doctor's advice. His reputation is going to go down because he's not effectively looking at your health. He's responding to the pharmacology or the pharmaceutical industry rep saying, push these pills because you're going to get a vacation Hawaii. You're going to get a bigger house and a new car because these have a great markup on them. So this again,
it would wean out the bad advice or the for-profit advice that just keeps people on the treadmill.
Yes, just like a bad customer service rep or a bad product would make you not want to come back to a store or not buy from that eBay seller again.
Yeah.
The reputation goes down, and the doctor will realize that this is not an effective method to getting people to feel good, because part of the medical industry's issues is ongoing care. It's very complicated and expensive to perform very effective ongoing care with a patient. You can't have them come in the next day, and then evaluate them. This can't be, they're not a bunch of petri dishes where you're seeing how effective the deterrent to an infection is working or not working. They're having to self-regulate a little bit. This gives them a mechanism, a simpler mechanism, to evaluate themselves. They can say, I have this infection, take a picture, here it is, blah, blah, blah. The doctor could enter into a contract that says, I'm going to check up with you in a week. And if you keep up your pictures of what's going on and you're describing what's going on, because it's causing you such a detrimental amount of pain or discomfort or lack of vision, whatever the problem is, you're going to want to be able to describe it or look through other people's histories, how they described it, to see if it was an effective solution. Now, because it's crowdsourced, you're going to also weed out the fakers. You're going to find out the people that are hypochondriacs that are coming up with these different things, and their data will not correspond to other people. Other people may be voting this up, but there's going to be people that are voting it down because they're really not doing that. That data is going to become, marginalized. The more people who have real, effective solutions are going to be creating a pattern within the data that show you that these responses do cause these outcomes. This pharmacology, this pharmacy, or this pharmaceutical company has put out a pill that doesn't consistently solve the problem that these people are trying to come up with.
According to the ads.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
or the side effects are more detrimental than the solution.
So here's another thing. So what I love about this is that, let's say for instance people can't afford the doctors, but what they could do, what is another spin-off DAP to all of this, is insurance or health insurance for consistent referrals or consistent
I don't like the name insurance. What if we had a group of altruistic people that said we're going to put some money in a pool?
Yep. And they pay
it's going to be contained of ether, and maybe there's going to be an increase in value of ether over the next. So we're going to speculate a little bit that this is good, but we're going to have this pool as a buffer between the patients who buy into another DAP that is a healthcare financial support app. that connects people with ways to pay for procedures that they can't afford.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I
like. So we become a mating point to another distributed autonomous organization.
It's a giant global system. So instead of someone paying health insurance to one health company here, they can pay a monthly fee to an online decentralized autonomous organization
made up of other members in the group.
Yeah, right. And then there's a huge pool of funds for doctors to earn a living.
Exactly.
And then people might have a problem, but it'll give me peace of mind knowing that at least I'm always covered to get
come into the system
for the rest of the next 50 years or whenever.
Exactly.
But I know that, and I'm happy to continue to put money into a system like that because the pool will get bigger. Everyone can see the pool. The pool. This fund would be.
It would be open.
Transparent. Yeah.
It'd be absolutely transparent. You're seeing who's being sorted, and you can vote up or down payments, right? So we could put another DAO up here that's a voting mechanism that says we want to solve these particular problems right now. This is dysentery in Africa fund. We could have a cancer
and then just get some computers in there and let them get them diagnosed themselves.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that's beautiful, isn't it? It's huge.
And I mean, there's things for testing water that connect to your phone. There are things for testing your glucose that connect to your phone. There's going to be wearable medical devices that are going to be IoT'd to this structure that are going to just start filling this information out. And it just comes back. Picture of your health becomes the information that creates the data sets that solves other people's picture of their health.
Yeah.
We can add the doctors in. That's a great mechanism, and they can get paid. We can interact with other DAOs to create functional support systems when people are below certain poverty lines. So we make it global.
Yeah.
All of this trades in the same currency. And the currency can be, oh, you know what? I'm paying you because of your status level and your respect level. So those can have a balance. You come in with a certain degree from a certain level, you immediately get a price point on your thing. But now you've been effective with 500 patients in the last 3 months. Wow! Now you've put yourself at a new tier. You could either charge more, or you're going to show up on this scale, and people are going to want to pay you for helping more people.
Yeah.
Not that people are paying, but this other DAO realizes you are such an effective healthcare. We need to make these connections happen faster.
Yeah.
So it's really a self-generating ecosystem.
And it's a very simple system. If we make it really simple at first.
I think that the first part we need to develop is not all of this stuff. These things can be put together. We need to effectively show that we can make a contract that solves this problem, and that we have the ability to put other DAOs into the model, make these contracts dynamic enough so that we have enough points for APIs, because this mechanism.
So we need to write out the pseudocode for the contract.
That's exactly what I think. What we need to do next is say, okay, if we're doing this this is the mechanism we're trying to solve. So we have the client. I don't like the word patient because we don't really know what's going on there, and I like the service provider, right? So we need to solve that contract based on a set of rules. And then those rules will either have a monetary reward or a respect reward. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
So if we can say that that's what we're doing, that's great. Then we need to have another smart contract that says this amount of information is stored, and I need a blockchain solution to say these members. So I'm just going to draw another little picture here. I'll make this a little smaller. I want to have an ecosystem identification mechanism, right? So I want to be able to come in and
which will just be an
and
Ethereum
be able.
ID.
Well, it's going to be your Ethereum ID, but we also want it to be. I pop up on there and I see this many doctors. I drill down to the types of problems I have, and it doesn't have to be. Again, it doesn't have to just be doctors. I may be looking for a massage. My healthcare thing says I'm tense. My 23andMe says I have a propensity for hypertension. my system has been online and I see other people are getting a lot of relief from massages because of their headaches and things. I just need to book a massage service provider.
Yeah, the first stage is just to do that first initial client service provider
so this
interaction.
Is exactly. We recognize ourselves. We create a service provider solution, and then the service provider states, I want recommendation points, which could be converted to Ether, or I want dollars that I can immediately take out of the system.
Yeah.
Right, and then of course we need to know how much is going on here, just as part of the mechanism. But that's on the private side of the wallet.
They can earn that money, tax free or whatever they want to do.
Exactly. Well, it's not so much tax free. It's that it's within an ecosystem that is providing a service anonymous of government